Welcome to another episode of Voice of a Niner Faithful. I'm Jason, your host. Today we'll be talking about all the draft picks and undrafted free agents that we picked up this weekend. And I think we're gonna be quite happy with who we picked up, especially that little bit of fan service. I'm sure that Terrell Owens' son Tariq is an awesome wide receiver, and that's the main reason we picked him up. But hey, fan service is fan service. I'm not arguing. So let's just get to it. First pick in the 2024 NFL draft that the Niners had, we picked up Ricky Pearsall. I'm probably killing his name. Pearsall. I think it's Pearsall. So he was a kind of surprise pick to me. As I've been saying the past 2-3 episodes, I thought that they were going to go offensive tackle and then cornerback. And well, the second pick is the cornerback, so at least I was half right. But the first pick, at first, a little bit of a shock. But after seeing his numbers, and I checked out a lot of his highlights, and if you haven't seen some of his highlights, you need to go see his highlights. There's this awesome one-handed catch highlight that you can't miss. It's awesome. I wish I could show it here. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to do that and not worry about copyright stuff. In the meantime, go check it out. But so his last season in college, he started all 12 games. He led the Gators in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving yards per game. He also did punt returns, which I did not know he did, which is awesome for us. I'm sure that he will get a chance to. You'll see him in preseason, probably returning a couple kicks, seeing how that happens, seeing how well he does there. But I think this guy is going to be really, really good. He's going to fit in well with Debo, with Ayuk. And by the way, there were many people out there that thought we were going to trade Ayuk or trade Debo. And, well, they're still here. And I'm going to still say it. They are staying. Ayuk's going to get his contract. Debo ain't going anywhere. Maybe there'll be some better, more competition. We might lose somebody. Even the ones that we signed earlier in the offseason, Connolly and the others, yeah, we signed them, but they were really small contracts, and it's not guaranteed that they're going to stay on the team themselves. If Pearsall shows that he can hang with them as a rookie, and if Tariq Owens, when they get to him, if he shows that he can hang, maybe they'll stay and they'll cut a couple of the other wide receivers. They are not getting rid of Ayuk. They are not getting rid of Debo. I'm going to say that again. So I think this has ended up being a really great pick. I think he's going to do great things for us. Now, as I said, the second pick I was right on. We picked up a cornerback, Renardo Green, out of Florida State. He was the 61st pick. Green led the Seminoles with 13 pass breakups. I haven't had an opportunity yet to go back and look at his highlights, but from what I've heard on other shows, he's really good at what he does, and it definitely can't hurt. Maybe he'll be the more swap out with the slot with Demo, but we'll see. He'll be a rookie after all, so I'm sure that he won't jump in right away, but maybe he will. You never know. Next, we have our offensive lineman that I thought we were going to get in the first round. but that's okay. This guy, wow, anything I've read about him, he is awesome. I think if I remember correctly, let's look it up real quick. But if I remember correctly, he didn't have any sacks against him. You know that he was the reason that the quarterback got sacked. Dominic Puni, there he is. Kansas City Jayhawks. Let's take a look at what they have to say. Career honors. Participated in preseason All Big 12 second team. That's good. Preseason All Big 12 third team. That's good. All Big 12 first team last year. Played in 12 games as a redshirt senior. Did not, here it is. Did not allow a sack in 745 snaps in 2013. Wow. You just can't, that's amazing. So this guy is just going to stack our offensive line. And he's, as far as I understand, he's played more than just tackle and guard. He's very versatile. I think, wow, this guy's going to help our run game like crazy. If CMC can't get a hold now, there's wow, it's this guy's going to be awesome. So then in the fourth round, we picked up a safety. If I remember correctly, we jumped up to get this guy, which is why we didn't end up having any fifth round picks. So Malik Mustafa out of Wake Forest. Let's see, 35 games where he recorded 175 total tackles, 15 tackles for loss for 48 yards, 4 sacks for 26 yards, 3 interceptions. That's a good thing. 20 passes defended, 4 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. Again, another player who's going to make, I think, an immediate impact, depending on how fast we get Huff back. So yeah, he's another awesome player, another awesome pick by our general manager, and yeah, this is so far so good. All right, we got a running back. Hey, it's not the third round. Woo. So fourth round running back out of Louisville, Isaac Guerendo. Looks like they looks like the 49ers site messed up on some of the things there about as you can see, it goes for same wording as Malik there. So let's see if we can find something on Isaac. Isaac Guerendo. Isaac Guerendo. There he is. Check out what ESPN has to say about him. News, stats, bio, game log. Let's see what news. Stats. Doesn't really give a lot of good stats from ESPN here. Let's see what else we can find. All right, so 6 foot, 220-ish. Right here, I like that. Athleticism score. I'd like to see what he did in Louisville. If we can find that. Now, says he played in Wisconsin, and then went to Louisville. I don't remember a lot about him here in Wisconsin. I live here in Wisconsin. Um, I remember a little bit about him. And since I'm here in Wisconsin, maybe I can talk to some of the folks here in Wisconsin that had followed the team more than I have. I am a fan of the Badgers, but I don't follow them as much as I do the Niners. So I will ask around, find out what people think about him, and we'll get back to Isaac on another episode. But then we go to the next round four pick, wide receiver Jacob Cowing. 25 games, recorded 175 receptions, almost close to 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns, 8 rushing attempts. I think every wide receiver technically probably does a rushing attempt on like a sweep or something. So this isn't anything special. I think he's just straight wide receiver, not a Debo clone or anything. But I think it's a good start for him. I think he might be more in the maybe he'll be more in the background. I don't know. Again, he's a player I haven't seen a lot of stuff on. So over the next couple of weeks, as I go into a little bit more further depth in other episodes on players, I will go in a little more in depth on him and get some better stats, and if I can get some better clues. I do actually have family down that direction, so maybe I can get some answers from them. Next, round 6, we picked up another offensive lineman, Jarrett Kingston. I've heard lots of good things about him. Again, another player that not a lot of sacks against where he played. He appeared in 37 games. 2023 at USC, the offensive lineman appeared in 12 games and recorded a fumble recovery even. Well, that's a good thing for him. I mean, as much as we don't want Purdy to drop the ball, at least we'd have someone that knows how to fall on it. But that's 2 offensive linemen in this draft, and we definitely needed some offensive linemen. I understand that he also is a very versatile. He can go from guard to tackle, that sort of thing. That's always good to have that versatility. See where we can fit him in on the offensive line. And the last pick in the draft for the Niners was a linebacker, Tatum Bethune. I'm slaughtering his name. I know. I'm gonna have to listen and make sure I get his name right next time I talk about him. But 24 games he played in, 142 tackles, 12 and a half tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 interception, even passes defended, and 1 fumble recovery. I don't know what even passes defended means. So let's look that up. Let's see what it says. Oh, it said even there, but it's 7. Okay, that makes more sense now. 7 passes defended. So let's see. Linebacker before FSU was a 3-year contributor, University of Central Florida. So yeah, I think he's going to contribute. I don't think he's going to jump in right away. but maybe he will. It depends on how fast Dre gets healed up. I'm hoping Dre will be ready for the beginning of the season, but if he isn't, I think he's a good person to rotate in. So let's hope he does really well for us. It looks like he did really well uh, for Florida State. So let's hope that he works well for us. Now, undrafted free agents. We got a running back, two centers, a defensive lineman, a tight end, a quarterback. This quarterback, I think I'm gonna talk about him first. And a safety, and of course, wide receiver Tariq Owens, son of Terrell Owens, little 49ers royalty. So let's hope that he's going to do great. But as I said, I want to talk about Tanner Mordecai first. I have seen him play. I do remember him well. And to be perfectly honest with you, undrafted free agent, he's going to be a third string quarterback. I do not, from what I remember watching him play here in Wisconsin for the Badgers, he was okay. He is not a great quarterback. He's not a horrible quarterback. He is okay. He will do fine as a third stringer if we really need him. He is not like third string Brock Purdy was. He is a regular third string. This is I was not super impressed while he was here in Wisconsin. So yeah, he'll either stick to being a third string quarterback, or they'll just plain cut him. I really was not impressed with him. So now let's go over the rest of them. Corey Schrader, out of running back out of Missouri. Drake Nugent, a center out of Michigan. Definitely cannot hurt to have centers, and obviously we picked up another one in Brayson Mays out of Southern Miss. Defensive lineman Evan Anderson. We picked up tight end. Everyone was thinking we should, and while we didn't pick him up in the draft itself, we did pick up a tight end, Mason Klein, out of Furman. Jalen Mahoney, a safety out of Vanderbilt. And of course, Tariq Owens, wide receiver, Missouri State, son of royalty, Terrell Owens. I wonder if they're going to let him wear his number 81. Let's see who wears 81. I had that number thing. What numbers do players on the 49ers wear? I'm sure there's a better way. Player roster. All right, let's see if anyone has 81. I can't remember if anyone has 81. So any of you that have, there, Cameron Latou. Yeah, well, maybe Tariq and Terrell can talk to Cameron Latou and say, hey, can we have that number? We'll see. Maybe he'll give it up. Take him to dinner, show him nice. Hey, why don't you let my buddy here, my son here, have that number? It kind of means something. But you never know. Can't hurt to try at least. So there you have it. As I said, I will discuss a little bit more in detail in the next several weeks leading up to some of the off-season programs and the beginning of the preseason. I will go into depth on all these people. I'm going to try and see what I can do about getting some sort of highlights that I can show. Um, if not, I will direct you guys to certain highlights that I had watched and what are I think are good highlights. I'm going to go back and try to catch some of the games of each one during the week before I talk about them. So my first group will probably be I'll go back and try to watch some Ricky Pearsall, some Ronaldo Green, and some Dominic Pooney, and talk about them next week a little bit more in depth. I think that our draft class this year, they turned out really well. I've seen some scores or grades online. We're ranging around a B, B plus. I haven't seen any A's, but that's okay. B plus, I'm okay with the B plus. I was never a straight A student, so B plus is good for me. I'm sure that I wasn't the only one that was surprised by the first pick, and I'm certainly not arguing who we got now that I've seen some highlights of him. Tell me what you guys all think. I hope to have much more in-depth knowledge of these individuals for future episodes so we can go into more depth. I hope that you guys will all comment, subscribe, like, everything that you can think of. Comment is the biggest thing. I want to get better. So if you guys can think of anything that you want to hear about, talk about, want me to look into, you just let me know, and I will get back with you personally and on the show. So, with that said, another episode in the books. You guys all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next week.